He's in trouble though. Backed him to the wall. He's got the rainbow. Rainbow gonna connect.
He's gonna do a lot of damage.
It better do enough damage or he's not gonna make it.
Could you hit your combo with $300,000 on the line? This week it was all about invitationals, including the $1 million Tekken Nations Cup in Saudi Arabia at Gamers8. Leffen flew into the LACS on zero practice and managed to beat some of the greatest players in the world right now in Smash. Some of North America's street fighting greats teamed up for the Chipotle Challenger Series, and Europe managed to defend home turf for the first time in Brawlhalla's Dreamhack Valencia major. Let's get straight into the action. Over to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Gamers8 here live.
Gamers8 returned this year, bigger and better than ever. The biggest esports event in the world, boasting a $45 million prize pool spread across events over the 8 weeks. It was held in the Boulevard in Riyadh City, and this past week it was the turn of Tekken 7's Nations Cup. 16 participating countries sent their best players to battle it out for supremacy. The opening format was split across 4 groups, with seeded favourites like Pakistan, Korea, the UK and USA evenly spread. Whilst there were a few surprises in the head-to-heads, many of the favourites made it out, including the USA and France from Group A. In Group B, it was the Korea and the Philippines that managed to edge ahead of Bolivia. Group C saw Pakistan, the pre-tournament favourites, sweep the group, and Japan made it out in second place. And a very evenly matched Group D saw UK and Australia make it out, with UK only topping the group on game difference. With the 8 qualified teams moving on to the elimination bracket, the 8 remaining teams played in a single elimination Captain Circle event. And it was Germany who, despite having a disappointing showing in the round robin stages of the pools, who managed to take the victory, and Tetsu didn't even need to play. And then it was on to the top 8. On the winner's side, it was Pakistan versus the UK, and the UK got off to a great start with K-Wiss getting a big upset against Arslan Ash. But the UK were not able to seal the deal, and Pakistan pulled it back with Atif.
And Pakistan's gonna take the set,
taking out Joker in a tense 5th game in the boss battle. In the other winners semi-final, the USA took on South Korea. And at 2-0 down, it all came down to Anakin versus Ni in the boss battle. That win meant we were going to a tie-break, and it was Korea that won the coin flip for first pick, but we were going to get the run back anyway as Ni and Anakin faced off one more time.
That looks about it.
This time round though, Ni was able to get the job done, and it would be South Korea moving on to the winners finals. On the losers side, Japan eliminated the Philippines, and France eliminated an Australian team that had put in a fantastic performance. Finals day was upon us on Sunday, and it was serious business. Spag and Major Obama with the cultural drip, and Bloodhawk pulled out the sports jacket for Final Sunday. The top 6 bracket was set, and in losers, USA faced off against France, with Joey putting in a fantastic win against Super Akuma. Anakin closed out a dominant victory, and the USA eliminated France. And on the other side of the bracket, Japan made short work of the UK and saw them out of the tournament as well.
trouble, the down factory's gonna do it.
But all eyes were on the winners final. It was Pakistan versus Korea once again. Khan set the pace with a convincing victory over Ulsan in the entry match. And then Arslan followed up, defeating Chanel with ease. In an unbelievable result, Pakistan swept Korea 3-0 as Atif was able to defeat Ni in this tense 5-game thriller. And then the only question was who was going to be facing Pakistan in the grand finals for that $500,000. Japan eliminated the USA in losers semis and then went on to face their longtime rival Korea. But as Ni made short work of Nobi in the Feng mirror match to earn the run back, the Tekken world was ready to see who was truly the strongest nation. You know, it ain't finals time until Steve tells you to make some noise.
Make some noise!
Things started off well for Korea as Ni won the selection match, beating Arslan Steve, which meant Korea had the advantage in picks. Khan would face Chanel in the entry match, and he made light work with a 2-0 victory. In a change-up in order, Atif would face Ulsan. And this one was a lot more evenly poised, as Atif came back from 1-0 down to level it up to go into a third and deciding game. This slow-mo moment took us into a final round, but in the end the low pokes from Atif closed out a win. With Pakistan 2-0 up, it all came down to this: Arslan Ash versus Knee. A match for the ages, the greatest ever Tekken player against arguably the best player in the world today. And it was Knee that secured the win with a huge 3-0 victory that meant we were going to a tiebreaker. Once again, Korea won the coin toss, so the advantage was theirs, and Pakistan would put forward one of their most reliable players this week, Atif, to decide it all. Of course, it was Knee that stepped up and the tiebreaker was decided. Knee was poised to take the first game, but this uncharacteristic misjudgment of the wall cost him, and Atif went 1-0 up. And he used that momentum to push on for a 3-round straight win.
Oh, he wins, it's gonna be over!
Bud wins the tournament for Pakistan!
Congratulations.
Pakistan are your Tekken Nations Cup champions. Arslan had some words for the watching Tekken world.
We are the best in the world at the moment.
And it is very difficult to argue Pakistan right now on top of the world of Tekken, the champions of the Tekken Nations Cup at Gamers8. I cannot wait for Street Fighter 6 later on next month.
Thunder? I mean, this just shows that Falcon.
In the ashes of the summit, the LACS has risen, and Ludwig's Invitational happened this past week. 12 players were invited, but there were 4 places up for grabs, which meant an LCQ. Swift and Spark qualified easily from the winner's side without going to a Game 5 once, and after losing to Swift in winners semis, Magai won in losers to qualify. The final spot went to Zamu, who lost early on and had to climb back against 7 opponents on their losers run to get that last spot. The second phase was Swiss round robin format, and it was no surprise that Zane and Cody qualified easily, topping their groups with 3 wins. Mango, Hungrybox and Moki joined them in the next round, and in the 5th round of games, the final spots went to Amsa, Swift and Leffen, who managed to struggle over the line. However, that was all reset in the next phase, a top 8 bracket double elim. Everyone started in winners, and despite a slow start, Leffen kicked off this elimination bracket with a big 3-0 against Hungrybox. He went on to face Zane in what was an insane winners semis. Leffen had prepared a Sheik especially for the Marth matchup, and after winning his first game, Zane came back with a counter pick of the most surprising order. The stage was Final Destination, and the pick was Ice Climbers, and the surprise worked as Zane managed to take it to match point. Back to Marth we go on Game 4, and Leffen brings it to a Game 5. Zane tried the Ice Climbers pick a second time, but it didn't work, and Leffen was able to take the win and advance into winners finals. On the other side, Cody joins him in winners finals by beating Mango, and we would have an intense Fox mirror in the winners finals, going back and forth until a Game 5 last stock. A strong lead for Cody, but Leffen pulled out a breathtaking comeback to get his spot in grand finals on the winner's side. In losers, Zane had 2 tough battles, reverse 3-0ing Hungrybox, and a tense Game 5 against Cody saw him squeeze past, and so he would get the rematch in grand finals against Leffen. But this time round there was no Ice Climbers, and it went back and forth all the way to a Game 5. But Leffen found a surprising opening that led to the last edge guard.
Came all the way down to the platform, held down, and that's it!
And Leffen would win his first invitational event on Melee. And what an incredible achievement it is, having just flown back from South Africa to compete in Street Fighter 6 for Red Bull Kumite, and having entered Guilty Gear Strive and Street Fighter 6 Head Stomper in Denmark recently. A third place finish at CB on Strive as well. Leffen is truly a renaissance man of fighting games. And since his last Melee tournament was in May, he managed to beat 3 players from the top 5 in the world at this tournament with barely any time to practice. This victory is an incredible achievement and really shows that Leffen is one of the great all-rounders of all time. A week of invitationals continued with the Chipotle Challenger Series and Street Fighter 6, which saw 2v2 action with some of North America's strongest players. It was great to see some new names in the winners side and surprising to see some of the names that were in losers already. In the first winners semi, Hardy MJ swept 3-0 Forever King, not even needing to play. And in the other winners semi, Chris T put the work in, one of the pre-tournament favourites. We'd see the team of Hardy MJ and Forever King go up against Chris Tatarian and 801 Strider in winners finals, but the losers runs were very interesting. The team of Punk and Knuckledoo, that on paper looks pretty broken, was cruising through the losers side, eliminating Samurai and Nephew, and then making short work of Diaphone and Sonic Soul. In the winners final, 801 Strider took down Hardy MJ 2 rounds straight, and then proceeded to also make light work of Forever King to put his team in a 2-0 lead. The OCV from 801 Strider was all the more impressive considering how strong Hardy MJ looked in the winners semis, and he booked his place in grand finals with Chris Tatarian not even having to step off the bench. After eliminating his friend Nephew, Punk then had to eliminate Shine and No Need to Talk in losers semis. And he finished off the OCV against Hardy MJ and Forever King to book the spot in grand finals. And this is the match that everyone wanted to see. In the grand finals, Chris T and 801 Strider in the driving seat with Chris T 2-1 up, but Punk fought back. And conversions like this are why he's considered one of the very best in Street Fighter 6 right now.
Here we go. Drill into level 1. Is it gonna kill?
Chris T chose to revive himself, and in the 5th and deciding game of Grand Finals, Punk spent it all, but it wasn't enough for the kill. Chris T gambled
Gonna put him in burnout, but the spin knuckle does it.
and lost. Although the winner's side advantage means they were down, but not yet out, as we went into a reset Grand Finals. Things started well for Chris T and Strider's team as Strider eliminated Knuckledoo. At set game down, Chris T found himself in burnout and absolutely smothered by Punk, but he found a way out, and the classic 2-hit combo in the corner managed to take it to a game 5. Both of these players playing like burnout wasn't real, spending it all to maintain the pressure, and Punk built up a lead. Chris T trying to get back in, but the drive rush is checked, and the team of Punk and Knuckledoo come out on top on this day. Both the teams of Punk and Knuckledoo and Chris T and 801 Strider get their trips covered to EVO, as well as a considerable prize payout courtesy of Chipotle. Oh, plus free Chipotle for a year. That's enough to make me wish that Chipotle UK did a Challenger Series. I love me a burrito bowl. We're off to sunny Valencia now for Dreamhack's offline event. And it was the first EU LAN for Brawlhalla since 2019. With such a few official offline events, only 4 in total, 3 Dreamhacks and the Worlds, people gathered from the 4 corners of the globe to enter this one. Both NA and SA came strong, but for the first time, they couldn't overcome Europe's finest players. For singles, Godly made a strong run, beating Vess, Luna and Impala. He comfortably cruised past all 3, not having to go to a Game 5 in any of his sets. He even 3-0'd Impala in Grand Finals.
He's so close. This is closer than he's ever been.
And for the first time in Brawlhalla history, a European player has won an offline LAN. 8 years in to Brawlhalla esports, and it's the first UK win and the first big offline win for Godly. For doubles, Ahgren and Blaze took it for Germany and the Netherlands. The Brazilian pair of Wes and Lores made a crazy losers run after losing early to the European team Blue and Krezu. They got their revenge on their losers bracket run, making it all the way back to Grand Finals, eliminating Escrape and Machete in losers finals. But Ahgren and Blaze were above all else and easily closed out a 3-0 win in Grand Finals to take that doubles title. A huge result for European Brawlhalla across the board, as home turf is defended at Dreamhack Valencia. All right, that's it for us this week. We'll see you next week for the roundup. And you can find that along with so much more content right here on the Reversal channel. It's not just roundup and tournament reports. We've got VODs from our own events, and we've got high-level produced documentary content filmed at some of the biggest events in the world. There's content across the full spectrum of the FGC for you guys to check out. So hit that sub button and have a nose around some of the videos we've got uploaded on this channel. But make sure you're checking us out live on Twitch for some of our great events that are happening weekly here on Reversal. And I'll see you next time round for the roundup.